Do you want to get more sales in your Etsy shop? Today I'm going to talk through the tips, tricks, secrets and advice that have taken my shop so that last year my sales were 1,000 times what they were 5 years ago. Not only that, but I have grown year on year since I started implementing these tips 5 years ago. For example, my 2018 sales were 150 times what they were in 2017. Don't you want that for your shop? So what are the secrets that cause one shop to be successful over other shops? Is it the games they play, tricks, advertising? Are they doing something secret? To sell online, actually you need two things. You need to be found by the people and you need to have things that people want to buy. Now there are many ways that big shops might be being found. Blogs, social media, websites, even traditional media, they might have been featured on television or in newspapers. And how can we compete with that if we don't have that kind of presence already? How can we get started? Well, actually for the little guy and for people just starting out, before you've got that presence, before other people are sharing you, our secret sauce, our little thing that gives us the edge in getting seen is SEO. What is SEO? It is search engine optimization. This is taking your listings and optimizing them, making them friendly, explaining to the search engine what our items are. Etsy tells us that when a buyer enters a query, this is when they type a term into the search box, Etsy then searches through all the matching items on Etsy and ranks them according to numbers of factors. But basically the point of this ranking is so that when someone searches, Etsy shows that person the items that they're most likely to want to buy. This is very much the most important metric. Etsy wants to give shoppers the items that they want to buy. Because simply put, that means Etsy gets money, you get money, and also the people stay on the platform. They enjoy shopping on Etsy. It's a good experience. When they search, they find the things that they're looking for. So quite simply, this is telling us you could have all the best, what you consider the best SEO practices in the world. You could be doing things better than another shop. However, if their item is more likely to sell, then it's more likely to rank higher. Or if you're trying to fool the system, if for instance you're trying to rank for misleading terms, say you're selling a baby hat but you want it to rank under wedding ring, if someone searches for wedding ring and your baby hat turns up, they're not likely to buy it. It wasn't what they're searching for. So Etsy will see this and accordingly you'll drop down in the rankings. This is why listings that potentially don't look as well optimized as yours might actually do better in the rankings. The information that we give Etsy is to give it an idea of what our item is, but if it performs badly, then it's going to drop down in the rankings. However, good SEO, telling Etsy what it is that we think our item is a good start in getting ranked. So what are these secrets to good SEO? Now, most people actually miss that very first step. Find your target. Before you even make a listing or a series of listings, even better, or before you go out and look for the vintage stuff you want to buy or create kits, the first thing you want to do is have decided on what your keyword's going to be. What are you aiming for? Now, the keyword is simply this search term that people are going to put, the query that people are going to put into the search box. Now, we want to aim for one phrase that we think we can rank for. If you try and aim for too many things all at once, you're going to rank for none of them. Hone in on one phrase, and then we can come back and try more later. And if you manage to rank for one thing and your item's doing really well, then it will be easier to rank for more things. It will be easier to add more things than it is to try and rank for everything all at once in the first place. So what you're looking to do is think up a lot of phrases that might be relevant to the items that you're thinking of making. Ask friends what they would search for if they were looking for something like your item. Brainstorm different words, different phrases, different synonyms for the words that you're planning to say, and then try and focus in on what's going to be the best one. You want to look at things like how much competition does this keyword phrase have, how optimized are the other items, how much searched it is on Etsy and Google, the prices of the competition, the listing quality, and also if it's a time-sensitive item like Valentine's Day, Halloween or Christmas, when does the search volume really start to pick up for these items? And equally importantly, how descriptive of your item is this search term. What you want the most is for someone searching for this term to have a really good idea in mind of what they want to buy. So for example, if someone is searching for the word ring, they really don't know what they want. So if they search, they're going to see a page of lots of different rings, and they'll probably get a bit of an idea and search some more. If your item shows up there, it's actually less likely, although this will be a high search term, it's unlikely that you'll get clicked on. However, the more descriptive you are, for instance, amethyst steampunk engagement ring, that's very descriptive, and a person searching for that has a real good idea what they're looking for and are far more likely to buy if your item matches what they were thinking of. So that's step 1, find your target. And then step 2 is to lock your target. You want to create that listing around that target phrase with a title as brief as possible. Etsy does tell us they're looking for short, descriptive titles. And you want to have that phrase at the beginning of your title in the exact order. So amethyst steampunk engagement ring or engagement ring amethyst steampunk are not the same. If your keyword is the first thing, then it has to say in the exact order in your title. Check out this test that I did only a couple of weeks ago. Now, using the analytics beta that Etsy gives us a wealth of information here. What I did here was on the exact same day, as quickly as I possibly could, I made and listed several almost identical listings. I just made certain slight changes. Now the top ranked listing here has only the keyword in the titles, and the tags are very specific only for that keyword. So it doesn't have any other fluff. It is saying strongly to Etsy that this item is dog ring bearer. That's it, nothing else. It's not trying to hit every other bases, and it ranks the highest out of all of these listings that I put up. Ranked number 2, the item had the brief title, but the tags, although also having dog ring bearer, it also had other terms that I was aiming for. So that's slightly less relevant. The third has the longer title and longer tags, but the keyword's at the front of the title. So it's less relevant, it's spreading your ranking power over several words in the title. So again, it's slightly less relevant than the 2 above it. The fourth, interestingly enough, has the short title, but instead of bearer, we've gone for the plural bearers. And if you look at what Etsy's telling us it's using for its ranking power here, in the title, it's only using dog ring. Bearers is not counted at all towards bearer, so the plural is being ignored here. And the fifth and lowest ranking item here for this phrase, dog ring bearers, is the one where dog ring bearers is at the end of the listing. It's the same in every other way. The tags are exactly the same. The title's pretty much identical. It's just our keyword phrase is at the end of the title rather than at the beginning. So simply put, an item with mixture of tags and several keywords in the title might rank a bit for several keyword phrases. If you really wanted to rank well, if you really wanted to test one keyword phrase, you want to focus in on that one first of all. Get ranking for the one, and that's going to give you a boost because it's such an exact match. Super secret bonus extra here. Do you know who else likes short titles and specific to the point? Google does. So if you do what we've just said here, if you go for the short title that's just the keyword, then Google's more likely to rank you too. And if you rank on Google and you bring in traffic from Google, guess what? Etsy will like your item better too. So it's win-win. And step 3 is take that shot, and you really want to pay attention to this section because we've got some extra super secret tips here. Taking your shot is publishing your item. You've got your keyword, you know what you're doing, you've made the listing, let's publish it. You can increase your shop's relevancy for this tag by adding it in your shop description and creating more similar listings and linking from the slightly less optimized listing to the most optimized listing. All can help, especially with Google search, but they all help with Etsy as well. So for your less optimized listings, what you can think about is nested keywords. What these are is keyword phrases that contain your main keyword within them. For example, if I was aiming for a needle-felted dog, then several listings with specific dogs. For example, needle-felted Labrador dog, needle-felted pit bull dog, needle-felted Staffy dog. Or if your keyword is steampunk ring, then you could look at silver steampunk ring, gemstone steampunk ring, silver gemstone steampunk ring. All these can be individual separate listings that are slightly different. They're slightly different items, but they all feed into this one keyword phrase. They all help boost each other's ranking, but they also really help boost this one special listing that you're creating. So you're not just creating one item from this keyword phrase you've found, you're creating a series that are all focused in on this keyword phrase. But you don't want to publish this series all in one go, all on the same day. It's much better if you drip feed this out over the course of a week or so, maybe posting twice a day, or if it's a really popular search, maybe posting a wee bit more, but spread it out. The reasons for this are, first of all, an item's going to get a newness boost in the search for being new, and quite often you can get really high, possibly onto page 1 for a reasonable search term, but that'll drop off quickly the more the term is searched. So that gives each listing a few hours in the sun. It gives them a few hours on page 1 for you to see what listings, what pictures do the best. And it also keeps you to the front of your followers feed. If people are favoriting your shop, you'll see right there on the homepage, Etsy will say what's new from your shops. And if you put everything out all at once, then it will be buried within a few minutes as other people list. But if you post in one item every so often, then it has much more chance to be seen, to be at the front of that feed when someone logs on. And you can also build up excitement in social media on your mailing list. If you know you're just about to launch a series, then make it an event. Tell people you've got a collection of new mice coming out and they're going to be coming out over the next week. Hype it up, make people excited. Know this is an event. You can even make it a limited time event if you wanted, saying these things are only going to be out and they're only going to be around for a month or two. Make excitement towards it. And now your listings are out there, you want to give Etsy some good data. Unfortunately, no matter how good your item is, if it's not getting any traffic to it, then Etsy can't tell if it's any good or not. So for instance, even if you rank well for a keyword term, if it's up there at a time when there's just less people searching, then the information Etsy's getting doesn't tell it if it's really a quality item or not, and you might drop out a search before people have really had a chance to see you. So for example, if your listing is something you can make multiples of, if someone messages you a private message or a custom request asking if you can make something and it's pretty much that item, then just link them to that item. This is something that I do in my custom dog sculptures. When people mail me and say, can I make this breed of dog? I'll say, yes, just purchase this custom listing. And that way, the custom listing that I've chose gets a lot more engagement, gets a lot more sales. If friends are wanting one, instead of just selling it to them personally, give them the link, ask them to buy there. You can give them a coupon code if you want to give them a bit of a discount, but it's helping you to just get a bit of extra traffic. I know people are going to say, but that means I have to pay fees and everything. Yes, but it's giving you a little boost in SEO that might well be worth it. And it gives you more experience of dealing with listings, dealing with sales if you're new, and it can give you some extra feedback scores. It gives you better shop experience score, which can help with your entire shop. And also in a blog or a social media, post about this item. Post a little series about how you made this item, step by step how this item's made, or how you found it, or what inspired you, or how people can use it or display it, or what it's for. Make it exciting and remember and link to your item. And bonus tip, especially if you're wanting to rank better in Google, if you can choose the text that you link to an item, that hyperlink text, if you can choose it, use your keyword phrase. So the link that people click on is your actual keyword phrase to get to that item. Although some SEO people say this is out of date advice, many people who've been testing this still find it works. Google certainly gives a little bonus if your exact phrase is the link that you've clicked. And another bonus for Google, and something that Etsy's working on as well, if you right click your picture and do an image search for this picture, you can find out what Google's clever robot thinks your image is. So if it shows up as the thing it is, for instance, if this is a needle-felted Labrador and Google recognizes it as a Labrador, or even better, as a needle-felted Labrador, then it's a really good picture for search, because I could actually show up in search on Google for that, and it's telling Google that this is exactly what this item is. So think when choosing the main photograph for this item, clear and uncluttered, might help the search engine know even better what your item is. And wait, you are not done yet. After a few weeks, you want to check where your item is ranking. You want to check if all the work you did worked. In your shop dashboard, under marketing, the analytics beta, you can search for the search query, the keyword that you're aiming for. And this gives you how many impressions, how many people were searching that actually got to see your item. This is fantastic information, and we're so lucky that Etsy's given it us. You can see the average place that you are ranking for that search term, and also how many clicks. So you can figure out a kind of click-through rate, how often people clicked when they were shown your item. So how can we use this data? So if the impressions are low but you're ranking really high, then this tells us that perhaps this wasn't a great keyword. Not many people at this minute in time are searching for it. So perhaps we want to try again with a more searched for term. If the impressions are high but your position, you're ranking pretty low, then this might be a search term that's a little too competitive for you at the moment in time. If you've done all the best practices to rank for it and you just aren't ranking for it, then maybe try for something slightly easier and come back to this at a later date. However, you could experiment a little more. If it's got high impressions, try a better image, try and focus in even more on this keyword, and perhaps you'll be able to rank and do a little bit better for it. So if the number of impressions are high and your position's high, then maybe it's really time to work on optimizing that listing so that people want to buy it. Compare your prices to other items. Look at your photographs. Can you improve them? And sort out your description so it's a really compelling read for people who click on this really, really want to buy it. Or if impressions are high, positions high, click-through rates high, and you're getting a decent amount of sales from this, leave it alone. You've done fantastic. Let's move on to your next keyword and your next series of items. You're doing great. So these are the secrets that brought me that 1000% growth, which is awesome. SEO, but not just blindly following what people are saying, stepping back and leaving it. Research, figure out a good keyword, aim for that keyword, check you hit that keyword, and then see if you can optimize further. Check your data, make sure what you're doing is a good thing. Keep testing, keep sciencing this, keep coming back to it, keep making sure it's still working. I hope that helped give you some ideas to catapult your shop. Don't forget, I'm Pam Duthie. I'm here to help you craft your career. So come back every week for more tips and tricks. Thank you so much.